Welcome, Marketplace Ministry. This is Chaplain Anthony James coming to you live and direct. Just touching on community awareness, community involvement, parent partners, becoming parent partners. Yes, becoming parent partners. Excuse me, I had to clear the view up. But yeah, again, Marketplace Ministry. This is Chaplain Anthony James coming to you live and direct. Where healing takes place, and here just vibing, just trying to make some sense out of what's going on in our communities, and and preferably trying to tackle things that go on in households, just community awareness, just talking about relationships with families, and just the breakdown of the family. you know as me being a black man, I'm concerned about my community as being a chaplain, you know what I'm saying, a minister, if you will, minister of God, of descendant of God, just trying to just correct some of the wrongs that's in communities, preferably working from the inside out my house and trying to do good in my household so that way I can be effective outside my household. And just talking about becoming a parent partner. It's like God won't let Marketplace Ministry get off this topic, because it's such a huge topic, which society doesn't really talk about it. It's pretty much taboo. Everybody's driving away from it, and just going about their everyday like nothing is going on in our community. Like, and I know it is, and it's mum's the word. And just trying to shine some light on it, and for people just to tap in to themselves, to the community, to their households, and see what type of sense can be made out of it, because it takes a village to raise a family. It's not like that today. It used to be like that. I actually had an opportunity to experience that coming up at a younger age, where it was more community, it was more camaraderie, it was more, togetherness. If your parents wasn't home when you got home from school, and for the most part, your next door neighbors and stuff like that, they would look out for you. Now it's like pretty much it's not like that now. You're like a stranger in your own community, and you live next to one another. You hope that you can help each other out, but for the most part, it's not happening. And so, I don't know if it's ever going to come back. My thing is trying to point it out on this social media, using this tool to talk about it, to hopefully have some conversation, some dialogue. I always, inspire people and to encourage people to, ask me some questions while I'm talking on here. I understand you can't verbally talk, like nights like tonight. Sometimes I have, guests with me so we can have dialogue, so we can talk about some things. And so that way, but what I'm saying, if you're not on here, you see me live, other than me and my partner, Keith, Henry, he's my co-founder, which we're on Monday nights and Saturday nights, me and him together. And then he's on, other nights, and I'm on other nights as well. And so whenever y'all see Marketplace Ministry, either I or him, Chaplain Anthony James and Keith Henry, tap in. And we want you to ask questions. We want you to get involved. Like, you really don't have to, you don't have to expose yourself. But at the end of the day, we have to, as the body of Christ and as just people, because everybody's not tapping into God like that. Not saying that you don't know God. It's just that people don't talk about it like maybe I will or somebody else will, because that's just my platform. And my platform is just not about business. It's about Marketplace Ministry is ministry first, business second. You know what I mean? Because I don't put business before ministry. even though you need money to furnish of your ministry. But I look to God for that, and I look to my skill set to make that happen as well. And so, but like I said, we don't have to be the same. We don't have to do the same, but we need to think on some terms the same, so that way we can help each other. And that's what it's about: each one teach one. And so, with us being so separated and us being not on the same page, some people are like, nah, I don't do what you do, I don't want you in my business. It's not about being each other's business, but then again, it is being each other's business, because if we are in each other's business, we can help each other's business grow, and it makes sense. You know what I mean? A lot of times we shut each other out, and then that's that. You might need that person that you're shutting out. And it's not about being secretive over everything. It's just some things you don't share with people, and rightfully so. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when it comes down to community, you're gonna have to share something. You're gonna have to get personal, and with people. And so if you don't have anything to hide, if you're not doing nothing negative, why not communicate with people? Why not connect? Because that's the only way you're going to be successful, is to connect with people. Because any materialistic thing, any miracle blessings is coming through people. And so that's connection is a important piece. That I think we miss in our communities, our Black communities, because African American communities, because we don't trust. Half of us don't trust ourselves. So it's hard to trust somebody else. You're always thinking somebody out to get you. Always thinking that, you're going to get the lower end of the stick. Nah, you got to think high of yourself. Not high and mighty like you all that. But I'm just saying, think enough of yourself to be able to connect with the next person and know that you're going to do honest business. And I just believe us that think like that is because we do wrong. We have done wrong before, and we think that things are going to come back. And that's a messed up life to live. I did some things that wasn't so pleasing in my life before, but I'm not there. Yesterday is gone. Today is a new day. You know what I mean? And we have to understand that once we tap into today, the Bible says we have to live today like as if it was our last. That means enjoy today. I know you got bills. I know there's things happening in families. I know there's COVID-19. I know there's a pandemic. I know this, that, and the third. We can go on and on and on and on and on and on. But why don't we try to tap into today and connect with people that's like-minded? You know what I mean? Because you don't never know that somebody may be that missing piece to your puzzle. Because I believe we all have puzzles. Like Marketplace Ministry, we are a big puzzle, but we got missing pieces. So we're looking for people to connect with us, so that way we can move to the next level, so that way we can come together and grow as a family, as a unity. But if there's no unity, then there's no community. And I just like to put that out there a lot, because it's truth. It's real. And if you don't have a mindset of becoming unified, then I don't know what success you're talking about. But you can't, because you can't be successful by yourself. It can't happen like that. It won't happen like that. And so, we have to get the mind, we have to change our mindset. We have to change our methodologies, you know what I mean? Our methods and stuff like that. And even our ideologies sometimes, which we think idle. We think personal by ourselves, and you can't think like that. You got to think to hook up with somebody else that got probably just as much as you got, but they're willing to connect with you and help you come up, as well as you help them come up as well. And just this parent partner thing is deep in itself. Because I know a lot of men that are not with the baby's mothers, and they don't really have any dealings with their kids, whether it be by involuntary or voluntary. You know what I mean? Meaning that, just because of the breakup came, and you can't deal with the mother, or whatever, you think you can't see your child, take care of that child in that sense. And so the mom is probably fighting the male too. Sometimes the mother's not allowing the man not to see their children. And so it's a mess. It's such a mess out here. And as I go on every single day, it really bothers me to the core. to see our community in disarray and just broken. And if nobody else feels it, man, I know you lying. You gotta be lying because it's blatantly seen every single day. I mean, all day, every day. If you're alive and you're paying attention to your surroundings, you'll know that our community is not good. It's unhealthy. And that's why things happen continuously to happen in our community because we're not healthy. You know, we're not healthy. Some of us are not healthy mentally, emotionally, physically. And so, because we what we do, we break off to ourselves. You know, we isolate, and we do that well. I did that for years. I didn't want to be bothered with nobody. I didn't want nobody to be bothered with me. And then, you know, it just takes you to a place where you can't be reached. And the only one can really reach you is God. And so, and if you don't let him in, man, then you give place to Satan, which is the devil, which he's going to deal with you on whatever level you allow him to. And so, you know, even brothers and sisters, you know, mothers and fathers, you know, the Bible speaks of all of this, that things are going to be separated. Mothers are not going to be dealing with the sons or the daughters. The fathers are not going to be dealing with the sons or the daughters. The brothers and sisters are not going to be dealing with each other. We have to change that lie. We can't allow that what was placed in the book or whatever to let that come to pass in your household. You can't let that happen. The buck has to stop here. You have to say, nah, that's not going to happen. I'm going to communicate with my family. I don't care. We got so many different ways to communicate right today. We can, you know, social media is powerful. Use that tool to be powerful. Just don't use the tool to stay focused on foolishness on social media. Use social media to make it work for you. Like, for instance, you got family in different places. You don't listen. If you can't talk to your people verbally, text them, email them, FaceTime, whatever, however, you know. I think people need to start going back to the basics. And if you don't go back to the basics, then, you know, you're going to keep drifting off somewhere where you can't be reached. And that's not a good thing when nobody can reach you. I hear people say, I love my family. Oh, I love my kids. I love this. But they don't make the initiative to be in their lives. And then, God forbid, I mean, I know I'm not talking Russian or anything to people, you know, I'm talking English, straight English, like, okay, funerals, why do we pack funerals then? Why do we always go to funerals? Why can't you give people flowers before they go? You know, and your kids, man, kids grow up so fast, before you know it. My baby is 15 now. I'm like, man, where did that time go? My oldest son is 28. My middle daughter is 20. Lord's willing, about to be 21 next month. So, I mean, this is crazy. So, for me to want to stay away from them because of money purposes, because of a person, like my ex-wife or my babies, I got 3 children by 3 different women. Yeah, I was out of control back then. I was a boy. But that was then. This is now. That's not where I'm at now, today. I don't even allow nobody to bring that up to me because I don't move like that. I don't have anybody in my circle that will even bring negativity up anyway. So at the end of the day, you know, I'm to the point now, it's like we have to come together and make some things happen. Whoever that is, hello, how you doing? But, you know, we have to come together and say, yo, enough is enough, you know. Family is family, you know, la familia in Spanish, you know, that's what that means, family. And that's what we got to become. We got to stop hating on each other. I don't care if I'm talking to the men now, you know, if you have issues with your baby's mother, man, listen, please, for that child's sake, if it ain't for your sake and the woman's sake that you had the child with, if you really love your child, man, bust through that. Bust through that and stop it, because the kids are suffering. You may think they ain't suffering because if you do see them, you may see them with new clothes on and whatever. But are you contributing to that? Are you putting food on the table for them? Even if you're not in their household, what are you doing to make their lives a little better? Even really, to be honest with you, they don't need presents. They need your presence. It's a difference. And we think a lot of times, oh, Christmas time coming around, do 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 do. So now, or whatever birthday, some kids don't see it, but then you got some parents, fathers I'm talking about, they think because they buy gifts that that's gonna suffice. No, it's not. Because them kids, they'll take your gifts all day long. That's what they do. But for the most part, man, these kids be wanting you to be around. They want you there. They want your presence there. They really can care less for the presents, because once they get the presents, they might play with it for a little while and then put it to the side. But at the end of the day, man, they want you there. They want you. They want you. Period. And we have to understand that. We can't be playing with this game, because we lay with these women, and we first of all, I understand. And that's why I say this to the women. Some of them are girls. They open up to these boys, and then that's what boys do. Boys play. And so we can't allow the boys to play, because that's what's going to happen. And then when the boys play, then come the child. And then when the child comes, man, the child gets beat up. And we have to stop that now. We're in 2020. I mean, it's been happening for a long time. And so we need to wake up and really tap into ourselves. Tap into your own heart. You know what's going on, men. A lot of things, the women, two wrongs don't make it right. I'm going to say that to the women. Because when you angry at the man and you try to hurt the man, you understand something, you're going to hurt that child. And if you don't think so, keep at it. And then you'll see the fruit of your labor. You'll see it. And so this topic here, becoming parent partners, man, it's a heavy topic, because this is something that nobody want to touch. This is something nobody want to converse about. They don't want to talk about. Everybody want to skim over it. Everybody wants to, just buy the kids and make sure the kids got everything they need. Now they need their parents, not parent. They need the parents. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about the grandparents. And then sometimes when you don't deal with the father of that child, you don't deal with the father's parents of that child. And the kid is missing out on so much, people. I'm telling you, if you listen, this is something you got to get. You got to get this, women. Get the anger up out of you. Let it go. Let it go. And your kid will reap the benefits on what they're supposed to reap. Because at the end of the day, we're going to be held accountable for stopping blessings from coming into these children's lives. If you really want to be honest with yourself, ask the child what they really feel, how they really feel about their father. Ask them. I promise you, I know the answer they're gonna give you. If you don't put any foolishness in their head, if you don't put fear in them, if you don't threaten them, if you say something good about your daddy, you ain't getting nothing. Nah, no. If you're doing that, then you foul anyway. But if you truthfully ask a child, I don't care if you and that man don't have good communication, or you hate his guts for whatever reason. Yeah, he might have did some wrong things to you. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, this ain't about you and him, just you and him. This is about the child. And if you can tap into the child, man, you know how blessed the child's life would be, rather than not allowing the man to be in the child's life. No, it can't, because if you keep doing that, it's not going to work good. Excuse me. So yeah, we have to understand the importance of this thing right here. Family is powerful, man. But if you shortchange people, then you hurting people, and then you reap what you sow. And then you really don't really want to hurt the child. But if you hurt that man, you hurt the child. Period. Because really, that child don't hate the man. If that man has not been abusive to that child or disrespect that child, that child ain't feeling no raggedy mess for that man. But the women putting this stuff in these children. And the more you keep the man away, even though if the man want to do the right thing for his child, let him. You owe that to the child. You owe that to the children. But if you keep fighting, I ain't letting him see because you mad. You mad. It's been 15, it's been 10, 15 years that went by, and you still stuck. You still stuck. So get unstuck. Get unstuck by opening up. Because if you don't, you're gonna see the fruits of what's going on. And I really don't think you want to see the fruits of what's going on to that. So you have to humble yourself, and sometimes you might have to forgive yourself. I don't know how you want to do it, but if you don't do it, there's going to be a repercussion behind it. And if you don't think so, keep doing it then, and then you'll see for yourself. And it's true talk. It's true talk. And like I said, I like these men. Listen, I ain't passing judgment on nobody because I had my faults, But even though it didn't always go right with me, with the parent of my children, but I got to the point like I'm not fighting them for that no more. Listen, you know what? I'm gonna just continue to do, and I'm gonna say this to you, men. You don't have to fight the woman. You don't have to fight her. All you have to do, if you really want to be there for your children, there's a courthouse. Because if you owe child support and get behind, I bet you're gonna get drugged to court. So why get drugged to court when you can go on your own and say, you know what, I'm the father of the children or the child, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm willing to do. I'm gonna give you a hint before you go down there. Bring your all your information, your job information, even if you're not working. Still go down there and let them know that you're willing to be in that child's life. Man, they will come to you and be like, what? Okay. Okay. What days are you looking to keep that child? And they're going to do a little investigation. They're going to make sure your living quarters is up to par. They're going to make sure certain things is good. So that way you're not abusing or whatever the case may be. But you have to make the first step, man. You have to make this first step. And if you don't make the first step, then you're not serious about taking care of your children. This has absolutely nothing to do with the women of your children. Nothing at all. And if you step to it like, you know what, I'm going to this courthouse with good intentions. I just want to be in my child's life or my children's life. I want joint custody. I'm putting in a petition for joint custody and visitation rights. They cannot deny you. You cannot be denied. I'm telling you, I did it. I did it. And, I went through some problems with the women of my children. I had issues. They had issues with me. I had no issue with them. The only issue I had with them is them trying to block me from my seeds, from my children. And I was not having it at all because they don't deserve that. They deserve to have a father, a daddy in their life. You know what I mean? Especially when I want to be in their life. And so I fought, grade my hair up, but it's all good. I ain't tripping. I'm well. You know what I mean? In good spirits. My kids, we have a relationship. We constantly building on a relationship every day. I check in with them. They check in with me. Not so much kids don't check in, period. Let's just be real. When they really, really small, they'll check in because that's what it is. But when they get a little older, and now they on social media now, they kind of push daddy away sometime. But daddy ain't having it. I'm like, nah, because, if they're your children, they'll be on your mind. So you can't be just going about life and your kids don't pop up on your mind. Something's wrong if that happens. You know what I'm saying? So when they pop up on my mind, it don't take nothing for me to holler at them. I know how to get in contact. I got their phone numbers. I got their chats, whatever they on. I make sure I know what they're doing, whether it be TikTok, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it. Duo. There's so many ways to reaching your children. So there is no excuse, man. And men, you need to stop making excuses. Because the longer you can keep making excuses, it ain't going to work for you good. Then you're going to miss it. And you can't really afford to keep missing those good times with your children. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you have to understand that we have to make sure that we are spending time with our children, that we are in our children's lives, that we are loving on our children, not hurting them by not being involved in their lives. Even activities, show up. If that didn't happen in your life with your mother and your father, you understand? Make that happen with your children. Because at the end of the day, you have to understand that if you don't do that, you're going to hurt them just like you got hurt. And I get it. Hurt people hurt people. So if you hurting, please let it go. Figure it out. I'm a chaplain. You can DM me. You can talk to me. If you need to talk, man, we can talk. We can talk. I don't have a problem. That's what I do. You know, I'm a counselor. I tap into stuff like that. I'm in the prison system. When I talk to men repeatedly, constantly, all the time. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help you men understand that we need to grow up. We need to understand that we have to make sure that we're doing the right things for the right reason. Something's going on next door, people. I have to tap out for a minute, all right? I got to see something.